All right, y'all. We are back. What's going on, man? I got Z with me.
Yeah.
Dennis in the building. The cafe in the background.
Freshly renovated.
Freshly renovated, man. New floors, new chairs. To our side over here, you can't see it. New game.
Unnecessarily expensive video game devices.
Yeah, something crazy, but we here regardless.
Yep.
Drinking our water. We got our other fluids here, but it is a special week, special month because we got the draft. But obviously, anytime we don't record, some things tend to happen. Some things happen that are out of our control. And one of the biggest things that happened over the last 2 weeks since we last recorded was the trade of our star wide receiver, Stef Diggs.
14 gone.
Number 14. And it was so bittersweet because obviously we've watched him connect with Josh Allen for numerous touchdowns over the last 4 years. But I'll start with you, Dennis, since you are our guest and, you make your yearly, visits on our show. But what was your initial reactions, man, when you found out that news last week, man? How were you feeling first?
First, I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised.
Okay.
Because a lot of things went on with Diggs
As
that we know of. A lot of stuff we don't be knowing.
Right.
But a lot of stuff did go on, and, as far as him missing mini camp last year, and, beefing with people online, which I really don't care nothing about none of that.
Right.
But, yeah, just a lot of stuff went on. So when the trade went down, I was a little disappointed because I thought we gave up a lot, with that fifth and that sixth.
Mm-hmm.
But I know we had extra fifths and sixths, so I wasn't too mad about it. But I did love the fact that we received a second.
Yep, got a second for next year.
So I'm okay with it, man. Now listen, people always yelling, the Bills got to get younger, the Bills got to get younger. And then when they start getting younger, people complain, man, they're getting rid of all the veterans. I mean, so what do you want them to do?
Can't do both.
So
yeah.
I was a little disturbing at first. It was surprising, but it was before the draft, so it was on.
Right.
And I trust Bean to do the right thing. So
you got to trust the people that get paid.
Bean we trust.
I'll give my take last, but yeah, Z.
It caught me off guard. You always knew it was a possibility. I just didn't expect it now. I didn't think they would actually make a move and eat $31 million in cap. That was always the biggest thing. Like, we knew he was getting older. We knew he was on a decline, like still far from trash, like still the top tier receiver in my opinion. But he's going to be 31.
Right.
His better days are in the past.
Right.
Yes.
So we always knew that was an option, but I didn't think they would do it this year with that much dead cap on the books. And if they were going to do it, I thought they would do it before free agency or something to, maybe give themselves a little maneuvering room. I didn't think it would be this late in the off season to do it, but caught me off guard. And once I got out to that initial shock, I was like, oh, okay,
all right, let's roll.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Because it's like, listen, second half of the year, he was far from his usual self when it comes from a productive standpoint. I mean, Shakir is our best receiver the second half of the season. Kincaid was our best receiver. Yep. Cook put up better numbers than Diggs the last half of the season.
Eventually got himself in the Pro Bowl by just the second half alone.
Yeah, so it's not like we haven't seen a productive offense, without Diggs. So it's like, all right, let's see what it looks like. And maybe Allen has something different when you don't have to force feed a receiver, force feed a true number one. So, and it's time to get younger, clear the deck a little bit.
Yeah, they did it on the defensive side.
Yeah, I'm saying after getting rid of all the defensive players this year, you're clearing up a ton of cap room for next year. So it's like, all right, you take your medicine.
Yep.
Bite the bullet now.
Bite the bullet now.
But, in the long run, if you can get a young receiver or two in here to refill the room, that move is not half bad. And that second back next year is definitely a good return. I mean, you traded one a couple years ago to flip that into a two.
Right.
That's not bad return after 4 years of hella production.
Right. You got great production.
Elite for 4 years. It's like, bro.
As a top 5 receiver.
I don't see how anyone can look back on this Stef Diggs era and look at it negatively. Tweets and stupid stuff aside, he ain't had no off-the-field issues outside of tweeting.
Right.
Like, it's not like he was a disruption. He wasn't out here beating on nobody or getting drunk and driving. Like, he tweeted and cared about fashion. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Like, his 4 years here was the best 4-year stretch ever for a receiver.
In a Bills uniform, right.
Not even close. I mean, he's number 4 all-time in the majority of receiving categories in 4 years. Right. Like, he put up legendary numbers for this franchise. So,
in a 4-year period.
Listen, if y'all tripping on that, I don't know what to say.
Here's what I'll say, and I'll fast forward to, like, how people are responding to it. But yeah, my initial reaction was definitely kind of shocked. But you know, I quickly, like kind of like you guys said, when you put it all into perspective, you kind of just get to where the Bills are headed. But it was definitely a shock at first because we just spent however many months, however many weeks explaining to people like, hey, he's not going
happening.
nowhere.
Yeah.
So calm down. Don't read into, once again, his tweets. But yeah, so from that perspective of going from telling people to relax to now looking at your phone, and I had a couple people message me and were like, Diggs. So initially when my man James hit me and said Diggs, because we weren't working together that day, and this was last Wednesday.
Like, he good?
Yeah, he put like Diggs, like crying emoji, and I'm just looking at my phone like,
He hurt?
I'm like, uh-oh. I know what this normally means. If somebody texts me at work and they do like one word and like an emoji or something, I know to kind of go on Twitter and check my feed. And of course, I check my feed. Boom, Diggs traded to Houston. So I had to make sure, because this is a couple days after April 1st.
Right,
So
I had to check.
We fresh off of April Fools, so like, boom, I check my feed, I
Make
see
sure
it.
it's a real Adam
I kind of
Schefter
have,
account.
right, you know, oh man, because they'll get you. Just like how they be doing on Facebook. Like, we be having to tell, you know, like, hey, don't read all those Facebook alerts, because half of them joints be like rumors and fake. But I looked at it, scrolled, got the images, CJ Stroud, the Diggs. I'm like, from Houston perspective, I totally understand it. From the Bills perspective, it just means to me that there was something off on both sides that they had to, mutually agree to part ways. Because you don't, like we talked about, you don't eat that money. You don't go through everything that they went through from the offseason stuff to like now, unless there's something else behind doors that we don't know. Now we can speculate. Yeah. We can listen to the reporters now talk about what was leaked in the locker room, or well, it changed ever since this happened.
Yeah, I call BS on all that.
You know what I mean? Like it's cool to now announce it, and we got people that we're connected to who we can just ask straight up. You know what I mean, Josh? Yeah, I'm calling you out. We could ask some people that we know to find out maybe some behind the scenes stuff. But guess what? At the end of the day, and this is where we move forward as Bills fans, there was a mutual agreement, and guess what? I really believe it's going to work out for both parties. Because by him going to Houston with CJ Stroud, that lets me know Bean said, you know what, Diggs? I love you as a human. I know this is not working out for the both of us.
I ain't scared of your ass either.
But also, I'm also going to send you to a place where you can eat. Because he could have did him dirty and been like, you know what? Let's see. Denver don't got a quarterback right now. We're going to send you to Denver. Or you know what? Matter of fact, let's make it worse. Let's see. What NFC team is struggling right now?
Half of them.
Half of them. Commanders. Let's send you back to D.C. That's your hometown, right? Let's just send you back to D.C. Figure out who you who throwing to you. Maybe is Drake May. Maybe is this guy. He sent you to a place, number one, where the entertainment industry is thriving. Us that have been in Texas.
You gonna be close to his little bro?
Yeah, you're gonna be close to little bro. Yeah. I mean, probably the best that he could have done was trade him to Dallas, but that would have been too crazy. But like, you're in Texas, you're in Houston with a great young quarterback. And for us, like y'all both mentioned, we just get a chance to get younger. We get a chance to
be all up in Onyx.
Yeah. Oh, who did? Oh, yeah. Shout out to Houston, by the way, man. We love the scene out there in Houston. But it is what it is. Now, to the other stuff, the fans reading the tweets, liking stuff. What word of advice would you give to a Bills fan right now who are getting too deep into Diggs right now and everything he does? We'll start with you, Dennis. What word of advice you would give him right now?
To a fan or Diggs?
To a fan.
And then you can touch on Diggs after that. My advice to the fans would be, leave it alone, man. We need to be worrying about ourselves. We're too busy worrying about what he's doing in Houston. It's over with. He ain't coming back. So why would you try to stir up somebody? You know, you already was having a lot of hard feelings coming down anyway. So just let it go. He's gone. Move on and focus on what we're going to be doing in the future instead of still going on with this mess about whatever he's doing and whoever he's doing and whatever he's dressed like. Who cares? At this point, I don't care. I'm worried about who's on the team now. And that makes me know I don't care at all about that. And on Diggs, man, quit feeding into that mess.
Right.
You know any little thing. Maybe you doing it to set him off.
He got to be at home tweeting like, this
gonna be the one.
You're not, because you're just letting them see really just how ignorant they really are.
Yeah.
If you could just say, you just like something and just set them off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And come on, you were here. People loved you here.
Yeah.
You had little kids that cried when you left.
Man.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So just think about them. And,
Right. Think about the good memories.
Like I
right.
said, he's got to be digging them a little
Yeah,
bit.
because some of those bitter fans, he knows.
But it was 70,000 fans out there.
Yeah, real support.
That ain't all of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? The majority of us, you
Rocked with you.
did your thing,
Rocked.
and we done moved on.
Yeah, the thing with me that's annoying. If you wanna be annoyed with him personally about the tweeting and liking tweets, fine, you can have that. But when people are saying he was a terrible teammate,
Yeah.
and this and that, and was a diva and all that,
He's
there
a
has
liar.
find me a teammate that said he was a bad teammate.
Yeah.
Find me someone in that locker room that said he was a distraction. Find me someone who said he didn't show up. He didn't put the work in.
Yeah.
He was voted the team captain multiple years. So you telling me they would have did that to someone they don't like,
Right. Just
or
off
someone they
production?
didn't respect,
Right.
or someone they didn't want to follow behind?
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing that he's ever done that's shown he wasn't a good teammate or
Right.
good for that locker room.
Yep.
So that's the stuff that annoys me. Though. Now all of a sudden, he's me first. He's this. He complained all the time. I said, you know what? That ain't really what happened. You hurt.
Yeah.
And I
You
understand
hurt,
that.
right.
That's cool.
It's the
But
ex.
don't be
Yeah.
don't be dogging my
You
man.
see
on
the
that
ex
stuff.
done picked up a fine new boyfriend,
Mhm.
and now you just kind of like looking from the sideline, jealous.
Yeah, not everything.
You
You know,
got
the whole
something.
time you was trash. You stink. You didn't even know what you was doing.
No,
you
you
ain't
was
say
just-
that at the time.
Exactly.
you
When you
say
was
that.
taking pictures with him,
Yeah.
and you was going on trips with him, and honestly, I'll just summarize it so that we can obviously move forward to more important stuff. It's just like cry how you want to cry about it. I didn't even realize it feels like it was longer than that. I didn't realize this really happened really just
A week ago.
But like, guys, it has been a week.
Yeah, I would
So
say
I
that.
need
ain't
you
gonna lie.
guys to digest it. We all had Diggs jerseys. We had
Sure do. I done lost Diggs.
and I'm
jersey
not
this year. I
selling
done
it either.
lost
Like,
Trey
I-
White jersey this year. I'm
Right.
down bad on jersey.
I had to
man.
tell a coworker, and this may go for y'all too. It's like, and don't go out there selling or burning your stuff. And I can't tell you what to
Man,
sell because I
listen,
know in
if
this
you-
economy, get
If
your
you
money.
selling a Diggs jersey or burning a Diggs jersey right now, you just stupid.
Just
Because
plain stupid.
you not appreciating what you just had.
Yeah.
And clearly,
If you that bad about it, just take his name off the back and put your own name on it. You
right.
ain't got to ever worry about
yeah,
getting
because
yourself
I know a
checked.
dude who
You
had
know what
two
I mean?
Diggs jerseys in two different colors that sold them two for $40 on Facebook Market. And I said, dude, you crazy. I said,
I
you
don't rock my
prefer...
Diggs jersey with pride still.
Right. And I'm just like, and dare somebody say something smart.
Yeah.
What you mean?
I
You
said-
mean the guy that caught over such and such touchdowns from Josh Allen? You want me to be mad at him?
Over 100 catches
Stop
each
it.
season, over 1,000 yards each season.
Stop it.
Put up better numbers than Andre Reed ever dreamed of. No
Listen,
disrespect to
man.
Andre Reed.
Right. No disrespect to Andre, Eric Moles, but he's on that convo. If we had a Mount Rushmore of receivers, we got Diggs, we got Reed, we got Eric Moles, Lofton, whoever else you want to put in there. But like
Pound for
one of the
pound.
greatest receivers. If you want to say the greatest ever, I'm not going to argue that. But one of the greatest to ever put on a Bills jersey, and we watched him play here for 4 years. And you guys are more focused on tweets and what he puts on his thumbs and his fingers. And like I said, the last thing I'll say, and I always say the last thing, but like the notion that he's a liar because he was once asked a question. I know they asked him more than once. Would he like to retire Bill? And he said yes, or he wants to retire Bill. That does not make him a liar. What happens in this business of sports, I've seen it in basketball,
Life.
football,
Things
and
change.
life. Things can change. Feelings can change, number one.
What
But
is he
also,
supposed to say?
but that's my other
No.
argument.
No,
Yeah.
but-
Now, that's a
Opinion
fight.
forever.
there.
Nah.
No,
Or he posted,
yeah.
or he
I don't
posted
want
try to
nothing to do with
dodge
them.
it and say next question. Like, what did y'all really want
What
from
do you
Diggs?
want him to say?
Right.
Because
Because
he got vilified if he said, no, I don't plan on being
Yeah.
here forever.
and
Exactly.
think about how
So
many,
what is he supposed to say?
and think about how many other players they could have asked that to, but they chose to continue to ask Diggs. Like, they could have asked that to Jordan Poyer. They could have asked that to Mitch Morris, Micah Hyde. But there was reasons why they wanted it from Diggs, because Diggs has always carried himself in a manner that reminds me of LeBron James, by the way, which is I'm going to do and say things my way. If you don't like it, so what? I'm not giving you the answer you want me to give. Like, every time they question him in interviews, it was always like, this motherfucker just won't answer the question. And I do believe he was doing some of that on purpose.
100%.
Because guess what? I'm not giving you the material
The
that
thing
you
is,
want.
he invited some of this, for
He
sure.
did.
However, you know,
It is what it is. Like,
there was a lot of gasoline that
It
was
was a lot
trying
of
to be
back and forth. Yeah.
poured on the fire for years.
there was a lot of strategic questions that were asked. just to get a certain reaction from not
Because
only.
I'd have been annoyed at some of the questions repeatedly over time.
You asking me the same question. He said that last summer. I just told y'all this last time y'all asked
they
me.
keep asking
Why
the same
y'all keep
question.
asking me that? And now you got fans again that quickly are forgetting what he went through from a question standpoint. Forget tweets. From a question standpoint, he had to answer questions that nobody else had to answer just because everybody was so enamored with his Instagram and his Twitter. And he kept telling y'all, stop watching my tweets. There was lyrics he was tweeting at times that was pissing people off.
Right.
I'm like, sir, that's Drake.
Everybody assumed that any tweet that an athlete puts
Bro.
out, not even just
It's always
this an
sports
athlete.
related.
I said, but you know I'm a human too, right? You know I can complain about life too, just
And
like
I
you
would mess
can.
with y'all too, because I'm gonna put some lyrics on there that's gonna have you asking.
Yeah, like I'm just tweeting about I'm mad at my girl right now,
Right.
and she annoyed the hell
I'm
out
ready to
of me.
move
so,
on. Oh
right.
shit, he ready?
Oh, he
future
coming to
Giant?
Dallas?
Yeah.
I said, no, but I'm just mad at
I'm
chick.
mad.
She blowing mine right now.
Yeah.
Like, can my man just have a regular life and a regular tweet? That's for any athlete. Everything
And
that's
he's young,
put out.
man. They don't understand these athletes are young
Right,
too.
31
Man.
in human years. We forget because we always look at stuff in NFL
We just
years.
see them and then we be like, oh, they got all that money, but
Yeah.
these kids they young. Like when we went to the training camp, and I'm seeing these girls that's younger than my daughter carrying these babies. I'm like, then it dawned on me that these dudes' wives. I said, they look like little kids to me. You know what I mean? They're young. You know what I mean?
man.
They in their 20s.
And still living
You
life.
know?
And like I said, there's a human element to this that we got to remember. These dudes have their own certain personal goals and things that they want to do in their life. And like I said, maybe it was his plan all along to play close to his brother, be with his brother.
Yeah.
Be in a town like Houston, because he got a lot going on from a clothing company. Off the field, we know he loved women. So
I mean,
like,
and I say it like this. I look at my own
and he
life.
can win out there too.
There's things I expected to be doing career-wise. I thought I'd be doing for 20, 30 years. And life changes. Like,
It
you know,
changes.
I really thought that I would be doing this forever.
And then boom.
And I grow and then I evolve. I'm like, yo, you know what? This is no longer where I thought I
Time
wanted to
changes,
do.
changes,
And that's
yep.
simply what could happen to him. You know what? I feel like I may have gotten everything I could have gotten out of this situation.
Yep.
And now it's time to go to my next.
Because I'm telling you right now, I really do feel like when it comes to the Bills and him, that was a part of it with him. It was like he probably feel like I stretched myself. I gave you guys everything I had, and then for whatever reason, we could not hit.
Yeah, and he
our
never
mark.
went out to the media or on social media, trade me, get rid of me, trade me. If he did ask for a trade, he went about it the right way, told his agent, talked to Bean behind the scenes, and did it that okay. He handled it like a professional.
Yep.
So
It is what it is.
yeah, I'm not
It is
mad
what
at
it is,
it.
guys.
It's just best of luck to Diggs. You know,
Yep.
I appreciate what
Thank
you.
you,
Not like
guys.
you're watching the pod. Or
I know,
nothing,
right
but
now,
if
what's
you
that?
happen to show up,
Right.
I appreciate what you did for the
Yeah,
last
man.
4 years. I hope you
Yep.
ball out, except for when you play the Bills.
Gave us some great memories. Like I said,
Oh,
I know.
man.
I know.
Lifetime memories. For
Listen,
that-
like
for
I
that
said,
last
people
couple
love
years,
to
man.
obviously bring out the drops and things like that. But let me tell you something. He caught more touchdown than drops.
Yeah,
I can guarantee you that. I mean, 100+ catches, and y'all, and we love to point out the 3 or 4 drops. Listen, again, human wide receivers gonna drop passes. Let's move on, and let's look forward to the draft. So, speaking of the draft, obviously today is one of those episodes. I think I told y'all 2 weeks ago where we like to go through at least the first 4
Big mock
rounds.
draft season.
Try to go through some different scenarios. I know Den been doing his homework over here. He got notebooks ready. He got his magazines ready. And there's some intriguing things going on. We know that we got at least 4 or 5 quarterbacks that should go in the top 12, 15. We know who the top 3 receivers are right now. And
Top
here
4.
we are, right? Brian Thomas at the 4. Here we are as Bills fans, picking at number 28. So we're gonna go through a couple scenarios with you guys before we really dive into like who we love the most. I know last time we recorded we went over a few names, but I'm going to kind of speed through 4 rounds. But the first round, no trades. We'll see who's available on our tracker here. We're doing a mock draft simulator for those watching at home, and we're just going to kind of see what scenarios pop up. So I got the Bills selected. I got the Bills selected, guys, and we are going to go through just a couple scenarios. So let's see where we land at. Caleb Williams went number 1, by the way.
You got to tell me who came off that board.
Caleb Williams came, so I'm going to reject these so I can tell you who came off the board real quick for those at home. Reject. So I'll tell you the last receiver that was selected was Xavier Worthy. He just came off the board at number 26.
Who was at 26?
Tampa Bay. So we got Xavier Worthy off the board. Trying to see if they're going to show me on this site the other wide receivers that went. It might not do it as smooth. So
I'm gonna roll up, look at the pass. So I need to see what Brian Thomas won. I need the deets. I need to know how this played out. See, but I was saying to you earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if someone decided to pick Xavier Worthy earlier than what people expect.
I found a way to move up, guys. So in this particular draft that we going off of, Caleb Williams went number 1, Drake May went number 2, McCarthy went 3, Neighbors went first to Arizona.
Wait a minute.
He went with the number 4 pick.
McCarthy went 3.
Yeah, on this
Before
mock.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With Daniel.
They got Daniel. They got Daniels going to the Giants at number 6. This is weird. Marvin Harrison went to the Chargers, and you said who we looking for? Brian Thomas.
Yeah,
he ended up with the Jags at number 17.
17.
So I like that.
I like that striking distance.
So here's what I'll say before we pick at number 28. Is the good thing is that off of this simulator alone, Thomas went off at 17. So my theory of moving up to 15 works in our favor, because if he's projecting to go in the teens, and let me see who's picking 15. That's the Colts. I think we got a decent release. Oh, and you know who went at 15 with the Colts in this one? Adunze. So I like that.
At 15?
At 15. That's why I said this simulator kind of a little nutty.
That one gets me excited. Like if the third receiver's off the board at 15,
right?
Listen, I wouldn't. I'm not a gambling man, but if there's only 2 receivers off the board by time 15, ain't
we
no
gotta move
way
up.
Brandon Bean sitting there.
Oh no, we gotta move up.
He calling everybody. What's it gonna take to get me up there?
That's moving up time. So it's time to look at the board.
Goes that second.
Right. So right now at 28, we got some options, and I'll give you what we got. We got Johnny Newton, defensive tackle. He number 21 on the big board. Byron Murphy, defensive tackle from Texas, 22 on the big board. We got a safety, Cooper DeJean. Adonai Mitchell from Texas, 31 on the big board. He's available. Bo Nix, we know we're not doing that. You got Keon Coleman. If y'all want me to keep going.
Oh, please do. Well, I mean, I know who.
Keon Coleman. I'm trying to think of any other good candidates on here. Obviously, McConkey. We got Troy Franklin.
All the other
Xavier Leggett, all of them boys. So we're in good position. So if we're at 28, I already told you the 4 receivers that's gone. That's Worthy, that's Thomas, that's Adunze. It's actually 5.
Yeah.
Neighbors and Harrison.
Yeah.
At 28, are you going one of those top defensive tackles, or are we going wide receiver? I'll start with you, Dennis. What you thinking?
I was going DeJean.
Oh, okay. Cooper DeJean, safety out of
Iowa.
Iowa.
What? Bean and McDermott, man, they always go defensive back, man. They go heavy defensive back.
Okay.
They always do. We lost.
I don't know how the Mafia going.
Okay, yeah, I know, but we lost. We lost.
Coming out with the tiki torches.
We lost both safeties.
I stayed up to 11 for this.
We signed a dude from Kansas City.
Right. Which I like. I like my
1 year, wasn't it?
Yeah, 1 year.
So if we got 3 coming out of what's the name rap, but if he don't, do what you don't keep putting a 1 year safety in there when you gonna have somebody ready to be in that spot.
I hear you. So that's what you going with?
I'm going with DeJean.
You going with Cooper? All right. Is that the?
He's a corner, but he's a.
Is that the Jason Sehorn comparison type dude, or that's I'm looking?
They compared him to what's that guy?
I hear that.
He used to play for the Rams. So. They was comparing him. I can't remember.
Archuleta?
No. This dude was
Never
off
had
the
him.
chain.
Archuleta?
This
Oh,
dude
Aeneas
was-
Williams?
No.
I know. I was saying he's having 99.
This dude was with
He's
the
on
Rams.
throwback.
I can't think. Yeah, not a few years back they compared him to him.
All right, so we'll go with Joe Cooper for now while you think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Same board for you. Who you picking?
At 28, for me, I couldn't go safety here. It's not from a talent standpoint, but it's from a positional value standpoint. I feel like from a cost standpoint, I can get a starting safety for a lot less than what it's going to cost to eventually resign him to a fifth-year option alone or a second contract. Like I'm not trying to invest that much in a safety position. Like I'm fine with keep finding 1 year safeties. Like because they've been so good at coaching up secondaries. Like I can get away with having a guy back there, but I would still have to go receiver here. I have to make sure that I walk away with one of the top tier receivers.
Which one you want to go with?
So if I'm staying here without moving around, not trading up, not trading down, based on what's left, I'm going Xavier Legette.
Ooh, okay.
Round one, which would be what
Xavier
I want.
Legette.
It's just from a physicality standpoint, from a speed standpoint, from a hand standpoint. Yes, he has 1 year production, but so what? People grow and develop at different paces.
Mm-hmm.
But just from a skill set standpoint, I mean, that dude was a stud. Pound for pound. That's the first one you want off the bus. My man showing up. Just, what's up?
Okay.
What's up? So I'm going to Xavier Legette in this scenario.
All right. And since we are 2 out of 3 at the same position, I'm going to end up having to do a wide receiver so that this draft makes sense. I'm going to go wide receiver too. I like the idea of the safety because according to this draft board, he is the 3rd best available.
Value's there.
After Newton and Murphy.
Yeah, from a talent standpoint, I'm not mad at it.
Cooper would be the next in line, but for me, I'm going the next best receiver on the board, and that's Adonai Mitchell, A.D. Mitchell. I think he's a fluid route runner. Not super explosive from some of the tape I've seen, but like explosive enough where he can make some big plays. And between him and Worthy, which in this situation, Worthy would go a couple spots before him, I think that would just be based off of speed. Like Worthy is like that.
Yeah, that 40 time.
That track and field runner.
Somebody off it.
Who?
I mean, 4.2.
Right.
4.2.
That's going to get somebody.
Yeah,
but for the Bills' sake, Mitchell is not a bad value at 28. I like Legette's physical tools, so I definitely like the Xavier pick.
Yeah. I don't mind Mitchell. I mean,
yeah.
I like Legette more just because I feel like he's more of a well-rounded player right now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like AD's ceiling is crazy high.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he still has to mature as a route runner. He still has to get
it's
better
some-
at
it's
the
some
blocking,
things
which
in
he's taking plays off, kind of half-ass blocking or half-ass running routes if he's not getting the ball. So, I mean, there's definitely some things that he would need to clean up. But from a skill set standpoint, like, once the ball's in his hands, he is explosive. I mean, I think he can definitely do some things, run after the catch. He's a pure playmaker. So I mean, I definitely
Ain't no wrong. Wide receiver, safety.
I wouldn't lose sleep over them picking AD.
Oh no, and I like Xavier Legette too. Like he wouldn't be a reach. Like even though right now they got Legette.
Yeah, I don't care where they got him at. That don't matter to me.
52.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Cool. Because let me tell you something. I'm going to pick best wide receiver available right now just because 2 out of 3 of us went receiver. So that leaves Mitchell, of course, my decision. But what's going to be interesting is once we get to the second round is if Legette going to still be there. So let's see.
Let's go with Mitchell. I'm fine with that.
All right, so I'm going to reject this trade real quick because Houston trying to trade with us again.
Oh, yeah, take that trade.
You know? All right, so where we currently stand, I think I know what I'm going to do already. I got Leonard Taylor, best available defensive tackle out of Miami. And this is us at the 60th pick for those locking in. We got Cameron Kitchens, safety out of Miami, second best available on the board. We got another defensive tackle out of Ohio State, Michael Hall Jr. Got a corner from Georgia, Kamari, I think that's Lassiter.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Brooks out of Texas, to name a few. And let me see if there's any other receivers on this one. Cedric Gray, linebacker out of North Carolina. A couple more safeties. That Ricky Purcell from Florida. I've heard some good things about him. Cole Bishop, safety out of Utah. Yeah. So for the most part, that's kind of like our top 5, top 10. You can go position and you can say if you're looking at solely positions, based off what we have so far. So obviously, based off of the majority, you want to see where he went?
Yeah, I'm just curious to see how this trade.
So Troy Franklin went number 52. Legette went to the Giants. Sweat went to number 44. I ain't take the trade, by the way.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I'm just trying to see how to
Keon Coleman to the Chiefs. McConkey to the Vikings. Yeah.
Okay, so we still got some players left over here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we're not in a bad position.
Okay.
And this would be based off of if we did go wide receiver first round. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So where y'all landing at right now?
I know what I'm doing.
Dennis, I'll start with you again.
Well, if you went line, you went. If it's wide receiver,
Yeah,
That's what we end up doing first round.
then you gotta go.
What you thinking? Tackle or safety? Well, we got tackle, safety, and a corner right here. So
Yeah.
you got 2 tackles. We got the corner from Georgia, Kamari. I hope I'm saying his name right. I'm gonna have to look him up.
Yeah, I mean, it's options on the board, but
Options. This is the GM mode that they be looking at their board. You got about like 3 minutes left on the thing. They like ding ding
I
ding.
do like the Kitchens, but I don't know.
I like Kitchens
Kitchens
too.
Kitchens is
I like
fire.
Kitchens, man. I watched quite a bit of Miami.
And I
so
think his
will go
defensive
Kitchens.
back coach. All right. I think it's I think they said his coach is with the Bills now too. His defensive back coach.
Go ahead, Val. What you got here?
To honestly not sound like a broken record or sound like I'm copying off him, I'm going Cameron Kitchens too. He was on a couple of my boards when I was looking at a couple mocks as a 2nd round grade for a safety. So like, if I can give me a safety in the 2nd round who has a relationship already in the building, I'm going to lean on that. And because in this situation, he's not going to be forced to have to start. Like, would you love for your 2nd rounder to get some playing time? Yes, but sometimes.
But it'd be nice to just hand them off
Yeah,
next season. And now
right.
Some special teams.
Yeah, do some
All right.
special teams. Learn from Edwards. Learn from Taylor Rapp, and then boom, you can blossom into that starter next year.
And be the guy.
Or maybe he might come in so ahead of the game, he might beat one of them boys out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think either one of them getting crazy money or set in stone. They getting $3-4 million. Nothing,
Right.
Nothing crazy.
So I'm gonna go Cameron Kitchens here.
I mean, that's already
At
2
the
out of
60
3.
spot.
so
That's
I mean,
already 2 out of
the
3,
pick
but you
already.
can still say.
However, that is not what I'm doing. I'm wilding.
Okay, where you going?
I'm
You going wide receiver?
Oh, 100%.
All right, who you
Roman
going?
Wilson.
Who?
Roman Wilson out of Washington. 100%. That
see
is
what they
my
got.
next.
You got
pick.
some gems.
Yeah, he's on there. Yeah, that's why I was looking up, seeing when he picked him. Yeah, that is my next. He not that far down, brother. Go back up. Go back up.
He wasn't?
No, go back to the top. He right there.
Oh, I see him.
Yeah, we got him at 69. Yeah, so
that's not bad. Out of Michigan?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What you like about him, man?
It's just his skill set is fire. Like all 3 levels of the field can get open. Great
Okay.
set of hands, great route runner. I mean, they have his comparison in the league to Tyler Lockett, and I love that style of receiver in this current style of offense that I think the Bills play. Like that skill set with Josh Allen, I think would be fire.
Okay.
So if I had it my way, it'd be Leggett and then Wilson back to back.
Back
But
to
either
back,
way, receiver
yeah.
for me, first 2 rounds, is that aggressive? Absolutely. To put your first assets in receivers. But when's the last time the Buffalo actually put that type of effort or that type of bang for your buck behind the receiver position?
Right.
You want to reset?
Yeah, man.
That's how you reset. You throw 2 young guys in the mix and say, "This is you. My next 4 to 5 years, or ideally 5 to 8 years. These are my top 2 guys,
Okay.
and we're gonna take that and run." So that will be my pick. But based on how we got here, Cameron Kitchens appeared to be the pick. Which again, 2nd round, I'm cool going safety here, and I do like Kitchens.
This
profile.
next one gonna be tough. So we went defense, we went safety. Cameron Kitchens on there, 2 out of 3 vote. We're skipping round 3 for now because obviously Bills don't have a 3rd round pick, but we all know that can change. Right now, we are at 128, and we do have another pick at 133. So I love this part in the draft because guess what? Probably by day 3, this all gets moved around anyway.
Yeah.
But
This one, Brandon beat me trade
But
at the right.
yeah, right. But there it goes. These picks are 5 picks away. So who you don't select at 128, you could probably get at 133. But being that Kansas City is like 3 spots behind us, I might want to go the safe route here. But I'm looking at some of the running backs they got here. They got a running back out of Notre Dame, Audric. Running back out of New Hampshire, Dylan. I don't want to mess up his last name. Then we got a Jalen Wright out of Tennessee. I watched a little tape on him.
Is this the spot that you want running back? Because that's what it kind of seems like.
Well, that's why I'm gonna try to make a decision based off the board, but also based off of what I see a little deeper down the board. So right now the board is showing like four out of the Knicks 6 or 7 best available are all running backs. So I'm gonna get that out the way. Ray Davis out of Kentucky, but there's a sneaky name as we go down, and that's my guy Brendan Rice out of USC. Theo Johnson out of Penn State, Jared Wiley, another tight end, Tyler Davis, a defensive tackle out of Clemson, another defensive tackle, Jordan Jefferson out of LSU, So I'm kind of in between 3 positions right now that I feel like I could go based off of what we selected in round 1 and round 2. I could go D tackle, I could go running back, or I could go wide receiver again. Now, the only wide receiver that's worth getting in this spot at this point is Mr. Rice. But they giving us a ton of options on this board right now at running back. So, gonna ask you guys first. I mean, what do